Welcome back to Goosebumps, everyone. This is month 28, I believe, because we've got 6 books after this, and that's 3 more videos. So this is another month where we don't have a whole lot to say. We kept having to push filming back for a wide variety of reasons, including The Wrath of God. But we're here to talk about 2 very boring books. How are you feeling?
I don't want to be here.
Cool.
I don't want to be here anymore.
We're nearly done.
I don't have anything to say about these books anymore.
No. My takeaway from these 2 books, and it's something that's been happening recently, is Stein can't commit to ideas. We'll see this where he'll do a premise and he just changes it up because he's like, you can't build on ideas. He has to just throw in twists and shit. Just not interesting.
I've done the bare minimum with this idea and I can't possibly do any more with it.
We tried nothing and we're all out of ideas.
Yep.
I don't know which one I like better. I don't know where we're putting them on the board. I feel nothing.
Oh, one of these is a ghost book. The other one isn't, so I think we like the other one.
Yeah, true. Alright, let's talk about The Blob That Ate Everyone. So this stars Zaki. He is an aspiring horror writer. He's in the middle of writing a story called The Blob That Ate Everyone. The Blob's a fun B-movie, and Stein took inspiration with just a blob in it. Didn't really do a whole lot else with that. But he has these 2 friends. He has Alex and Adam. And one is like really proud of his work and sucks his dick or whatever. And Adam's just doesn't take his stories very seriously. Zaki's he's a horror writer, but he's also scared easily. Every protagonist in these books is scared easily. You get it. So one day, Zaki and Alex are walking home from school, and there's this shopping center that just gets blown out by a lightning storm. They walk into this one random shop for whatever reason, and Zaki finds this old typewriter that he's really interested in. When he goes to grab it, he feels this giant shock of lightning and gets knocked out. He wakes back up. He decides to take the typewriter with him and runs into the shop clerk. He's a bit bummed that her store is dead. And then Zaki mentions that he wants to take the typewriter home. And the store clerk seems all too eager for him to get rid of it and lets him take it away for free. Wow. So he goes home with Alex still, and he starts work on this story. And this is where the bulk of the book takes place. He starts with writing that it's a dark and stormy night. The sky around him gets dark and stormy, spooky, and he's like, the wind is howling. Wind starts howling. Zaki and Alex are left alone in the house. All of a sudden, Zaki can't find his dad. And so Alex is starting to think that the typewriter is bringing these things to life. And Zaki's like, nah, that's stupid. I'll just type something random like there's a knock at the door and nothing will happen. And there's a knock at the door. They go to check it. There's nothing there. And then they go like, okay, well, what if I was like, Adam showed up at the door, and then they hear another knock, and there's Adam. And Adam's like, I don't know why I came here, but here I am. And so Zaki and Alex are explaining that the typewriter is bringing things to life. Adam doesn't take it seriously, and he's like, oh, the blood monster's in the basement. And they're like, then they start hearing sounds down in the basement. So they go to explore the basement. And then so they find Zaki's dad and oh, okay. So the typewriter was never doing anything. Adam's making fun of Zaki more. He's like, I've had it. I'm going to keep writing that blob story on my typewriter. So it's and then the blob attacked the town and ate everyone. So the next day he goes into town and there's the blob. So
This is the 80% mark of the book.
Yeah, this is basically at the end of the book. So Zaki's like, whoopsie daisy, I fucked up. Let's go back to my house and I'll just type up an ending for the blob and then we'll be fine. And then they find that the keys are jammed and Zaki's like, oh shit. And the blob comes in the room and Zaki's trying to think of something. It's like, wait a minute. The power was inside of me all along. It's not a typewriter. And then he wills the blob out of existence. Saki, Adam, and Alex, they all rejoice. But little do they know that actually they're in a story written by a blob who's telling the story to the classmates that are all blobs. And they're like, that was a pretty good story, Mr. Blob, except I didn't like that sad ending where the little boy defeated the blob. You should change the ending so the blob eats the kid. And he's like, that's a good point. That's how the book ends.
So that's the book that we preferred this month.
Yes. I liked the middle chunk with like the typewriter making things come to life because there was tension there. It reminded me of a video game I played. You ever played House Abandoned?
No.
It's a play on like those text adventure games. So like the display is like you're in a bedroom and you're on like this old computer and you're typing away at a text adventure. But as you're typing things, it starts happening in the room. So like I open the front door and you hear the front door and it's like really good atmosphere. And that was reminding me of this book a bit.
Did it remind me of any games?
Yeah, Alan Wake.
Alan Wake.
He's in a bit of binge at the moment with those games. That's all right. But it's my main issue is just make a book about typewriters bringing things to life. You don't need this whole the power was in the boy all along. Just pointless. And then you add that twist on that it was all inside the blob's head, and I'm like, ugh, what's the point? Can't think of anything.
It's pretty shit.
Yeah.
But he always fucking does it, so at this point it's just like, there's no point complaining about it. It's just gonna happen again next month.
I have to talk about it. I've gotta work the energy out of me.
We're like completely opposite right now, where I'm just like, yeah, it's shit, but it's always shit. But you know what? We're fucking, it's better than this shit.
It's a problem with me. I always come into these optimistically because they're interesting titles and covers, especially this month.
And they can be a really interesting premise as well.
Yeah.
I'll be like, it's a vampire book, I'm down for a vampire book. Something
one,
based on the blob, I'll fucking take that. That's interesting.
This one is fucking insane. Immediately drops my interest. This one, I liked the middle chunk. I'll take it.
Yeah, it's fine. It's another one of those fine books where it's got a fun idea. Doesn't really do a lot with it, but it also doesn't shit any beds.
Yeah.
Apart from the final chapter, but you know what? That's just a given.
Yeah.
It's just part of the game. I didn't particularly care for any of the characters. He's kind of written all the characters that he can at this point. He has nothing new to give to us.
Romance.
He won't. He won't, because boys reading this book, little boys are going to be like, ew, but get to the monster. And then he'll be like, oh, don't worry, I'm getting to the monster.
Do more shit with older siblings. He barely touches that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. But there's always like, she's the older sibling and there's the younger brother who's annoying.
Yeah.
I've read that 10 times.
I mean, specifically like the perspective of the younger sibling.
Yeah, when was the last time we had something like that? I want to say like Barking Ghost.
Sparking Ghost, Stay Choose and Die. I think there was something else recently. Don't Go to Sleep.
Yeah, but then that gets thrown away and played with a lot as well, so it doesn't particularly count.
Yeah.
Which means, yeah, it's like Barking Ghost was the last real one that had it. That's fucking crazy. I don't think I have anything to say about that one, this book. I think it's all summed up in, it had an opening fake-out chapter, which, you know, we've hit a point where it's not like Legend of the Lost Legend, where I started reading it and I went, oh, and then went, oh, you fuckwit. You moron for believing that we were doing something different.
Fool me once.
Now I read it and go, oh yeah, there's the rug pull. Thank you, Mr. Stein. No, I'm sorry, I was enjoying myself a little bit. I'll try not to do that next time.
Oh, you gotta start scary and then have nothing happen for 60 pages.
Little did I know that the real horror was just beginning. I'm going to, as a courtesy, check my notes.
I wrote one note, it was just me complaining about the ending. I wanted to talk about this book because I did not want to talk about that book.
I have, through course of just complaining about this book, mentioned all of my notes.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah. So that's a good start. And you know what? We liked this book more than the other one. And I'm really dreading talking about the other one. The TV adaptation, because if you can believe it, this book got a TV adaptation.
stupid chores my mom makes me do.
Did they do the giant blob going through the street eating everyone? No. No, they did not do that. But you know what? Not even the book, really.
No.
Barely touched on it.
No, it's just like, it's about the size of a big dog. And it's not really got any shape. It is just like this amorphous thing. It'll do.
Did it eat the friend at one point?
Yeah.
Yeah, it did. Yeah,
then-
that's right. Then he appears at the end of the book.
Yeah, it's weird. Like when they show him and the blob disappearing, the friend coming back, there's this weird like effect where it almost looks like the blob's turning into the friend.
Yeah.
Like why? Most of this book is dedicated to that middle chunk in the Stormy house and then playing with the typewriter, which is good. That's what you would
mostly
do.
what the episode covers
Yeah.
as well. It cuts out the very last twist.
Thank
the last
God.
chapter, they just don't bother doing it because
Budget.
fuck it. Also budget. But that means it ends very abruptly because they didn't change anything either.
I do! I have the power!
What power?
Forget it.
You wouldn't understand.
And
Yeah.
it's just cool. It caught me off guard. We read these books almost a whole month ago.
We started at the start of the year. We were gonna,
Month.
start of the month, and we were gonna record, and then the flu went through Jared's house.
It was a real bad flu.
Oh yeah.
We've just been hella busy. Anyway, you don't need our excuses. Only 2 of you watch these, you don't care. Yeah, I don't know. It was okay. They did it. You know, they did the thing, but again, for most of the book, nothing really happens. So, good job.
We've got nothing to say.
Yeah.
Yay!
That means we get to talk about Ghost Camp again.
Zach, are you okay?
Oh, I have a boner. Sorry. Stormy, you can chill with the commentary, okay? I'm so tired.
So stop talking. Save your energy.
Yeah. Think of something really funny.
Boners.
Matt got a stiffy. It was
funny. I thought you were just saying Matt got a stiffy, and I was like, what?
It doesn't belong to you.
The store's totally wrecked. Who's gonna care?
Did he say it right?
Okay, so this, it's okay, we've already spoken about it, just let it die, Curse of Camp Cold Lake, this book stars Sarah. Sarah is going to camp with her younger brother, fuck him, he doesn't matter, I'm not telling you his name. It's Camp Cold Lake. They've got to go to Camp Cold Lake for some fucking reason. When they get to the camp, they're split into the boys and the girls' dorm. When Sarah goes into the girls' dorm, she is bunking with 3 other girls who all went to camp together the year before, and therefore they already know each other, and they already have a little friends group going that she is not part of. And she's a little fucking worrisome girl. She's a klutz, because Stein loves making the main character a klutz. I wonder if he was ever called a klutz when he was a kid.
It's easy conflict as well.
It's so easy, he does it every fucking book. So she really wants to get off on like the right foot with these girls, and she instantly says, "Oh, I don't want to be on the top bunk, can we please move?" And the other girls are like, "No, we've already moved our stuff in, can you just go there?" And she's like, No, I really don't want to do it. And she gets the counselor to force the other girls to do it. And in the process of moving the girl, her name is Brianna, in the process of moving Brianna's bag, you'll know she's important because I bothered giving her a name. In the course of moving Brianna's bag, they spill out all of her asthma shit. And she goes, "No, everybody knows that I have asthma now. Thanks, new girl." And then she's like, "Oh my god, I'm such a klutz. It's my first day and I've already pissed off the cool gear kids." Later on, it's campfire time because it's a camp book. And I know that I like these, but I'm so fucking sick of talking about them because you never want to talk about them.
It's the last one.
That doesn't make me feel any better. It's campfire time, and she feels really bad about messing everything up with her friends. And then she looks over, and her brother is having the time of his fucking life, as is always the case with these books. So she fucking pisses off her friends so much that they're like, "Oh no, you've got to run, Sarah. Somebody's put fireworks in the fire." So she screams and she runs. End of chapter. Start of the next chapter, oh, they didn't do that, and the girls are just laughing at her because she made herself look like a fool in front of everyone. And then they do the camp initiation, talk to everybody thing. There's the camp leader, and there's also the safety instructor. Her name is Liz, and she really, really drills into these kids about the buddy system. You're not allowed to go near the water without a buddy. There has to be two of you. Nobody can be alone.
I will say, Stein keeps finding little aspects of camp to make books around.
I think camp really is very interesting, and he always makes the camps a little bit weird,
Yeah.
which really does work. But he needs to do a little bit more than that.
Yeah, because it's like Camp Nightmare is like someone.
There was nothing
No.
special about Camp Nightmare, but that was the first one. So
Camp
we'll,
Jelly Jam was the sports one.
It was really fucking cool, actually, and it had a really weird ceremony every night. We're talking about other books now.
Yeah, that was just I'm bringing up. Ghost Camp was the campfire stories, and this is the buddy system.
Yeah. The buddy system is very interesting because you go down to Camp Cold Lake, and Liz is just dead fucking serious the whole time. She's eyeing off all the kids, and she's like, "You are not going out. You're not even fucking walking in the water without a buddy." And of course, because Sarah's pissed everybody off, nobody's going to want to be her buddy. Again, just in case her night hasn't gotten any, in case it can't get any worse, the girls then put a fucking snake on her just to piss her off again. And then she's just like, "Oh, I'll show those girls."
What does she do?
She gets spiders, and she puts spiders under the bed sheets for all the girls. So they're all going to bed, and they all go, "Ow, ow, ow, what the fuck?" And they've all got to get taken to the infirmary, and then Brianna dobs Sarah in because she saw her put the spiders under the beds. So now everybody really fucking hates her. It's the next day, time to do camp shit at the lake. Goes down to the lake, everybody needs a buddy. All the other girls are taken except for Brianna, and Brianna's just like, "Fuck me. All right, new girl, let's go out in a canoe." And they go canoeing, and Sarah's trying her best to apologize, and Brianna's just like, "You know what? No. Because of you, I don't get to go on the 6-day kayaking trip, and I was really looking forward to it this year. So you know what? Go fuck yourself." And she stands up, and she dives out of the canoe, which causes the whole canoe to tip over into the water. And then Sarah's in Camp Cold Lake, and nothing happens because she swims back to shore. And Liz is just like, "What happened, girls?" And Brianna, who got there first because she dived, says, "Oh my god, Liz, it was awful. Sarah tipped the canoe on purpose." So Liz is just like, "Naughty, naughty girl." I'm not too sure what happens after this point exactly. I think it's the next day is when something important happens. And Sarah says, "You know what I'm going to fucking do to show everybody?" Because she really wanted to go home. No, this is what happens. She tells her brother that she wants to go home, and her brother says, "No, I'm having a great time. Please don't call mom because then I'll have to go home with you." And she's just like, "Well, fuck you. Fine." So then she goes, "I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to make everybody feel really fucking bad about being mean to me after I was accidentally awful to all of them. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pretend to drown myself tomorrow." So they go back to the camp, they go back to the Cold Lake the next day, and she holds her breath under the water. In this part, I really hated reading. It was really unsettling reading this girl drown herself, and it goes on for a while, and it was a little bit too detailed for me.
I sent a message to her. I was like, this book has the most insane thing a protagonist has ever done. For so long, we've had this sanitized horror series where it's like, we can't have dead children because they're ghosts. They're not allowed to be dead. We have to trust the parents. Parents can't be evil. But then we have a girl getting suicide revenge?
So fucked.
What?
I think I wrote a note similar where it was just like, "You're kidding me, I can't believe that I'm reading this."
Yeah.
It's fucking scary. If you ask me what the scariest chapter in any Goosebumps book is, it's watching Sarah drown herself. Because she's like, "Oh my god, it's getting so hard to breathe. Oh my god, I can feel my fucking veins pumping." And she's like, "No, you stay down a little bit longer. Oh, I'm getting so cold." I'm just like, "Oh no, stop it! Stop it!" And then when she comes up for air, there's no one around her. She's thinking, surely people are going to be yelling and screaming. People are going to be coming over and looking for me. She brings her head up above water, there's no one there. She walks up to the camp, and there's no one there except this little girl.
It's also snowing for some reason.
Because it's so cold.
Yeah.
Because it's so cold.
This is where the book started intriguing me.
Yeah, it's doing stuff here. And then it refuses to do anything else.
Exactly.
And there's a little girl who introduces herself as Della. And Della says, "Can I be your buddy forever?" Oh no! Do you reckon maybe Sarah fucking died? Do you reckon maybe she fucking passed away? And then Liz revives, so she comes out of the water and everybody's like, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god." And they rush her back to the fucking camp. And then probably you see Della standing in the group of the girls. And it's like, whoa, I thought she wasn't real. Whoa. The next day, I think Brianna apologizes, says, "Sorry we got off on the wrong foot. Sorry that we did all the mean stuff to you. We all just want to, go back to normal." And then she's enjoying camp for a little while. They're doing the ski water shit, where somebody's ahead in like a little boat, and then you're standing with like the skis and you're like skiing on the water. It's fun. I used to do it when I went down the coast to my little fucking caravan. But she's doing it, and she like flips off the water, and then you've got Della driving the boat like a crazy fucking kid, and she's about to run Sarah over. And Sarah barely manages to dodge and get out of the way. There's a whole bunch of other like Della trying to talk to her and scare her and kill her and shit. None of it matters. We can basically jump to the end of the book now.
There's one detail that's kind of important.
Which one?
She speaks to one of the counselors and is like, "Hey, did someone drown in this lake?" And like, no one ever drowned. We promise you, even if someone did drown, I promise you I would have told you.
Yeah. Somebody was very just like, "Why did you ask about that specifically? Shut up." It was very pointed. But again, it doesn't really matter too much.
It's foreshadowing.
It's very obvious foreshadowing, but yeah. I think finally Sarah reaches the point where she's like, "Fuck this, I'm leaving." And she tries to run away through the forest, because that was the only way to get out. And then Della appears in the woods, and she has her fucking supervillain clap, clap, clap laugh, where she's like, "You're a moron. All everything that I did was to get you scared of the lake. I wanted you to get to the forest where all the venomous snakes would fucking kill you." So there's nothing bad about the lake. It was just Della trying to fucking gaslight and manipulate her into going into the fucking woods.
It's interesting, but also like, couldn't you just have a haunted lake? Wasn't that enough?
I would have preferred the cover.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest.
Yeah.
The cover is cool. But interesting enough play. Not the end of the world. So one of the snakes jumps up and is like about to attack Sarah, and she's like, "Fuck, Della's won." And then Brianna comes up and she says, "Oh no, you weren't. You tried to do this to me last year, and I promised myself that I would never let you do it to another girl." And then Della, I don't know what happens. Does Della get bit by a snake, or does Della just fucking disappear? I don't fucking... Della loses. And then they're like going back to the camp, and Sarah's like, "Oh my god, thank you so much, Brianna. That was great. You're my best friend." And she says, "That's awesome. Now we can go back to the camp and we can be buddies. Do you want to be my buddy forever?" End of the book.
Well, like, she's like, "Oh, I did become a ghost in the end, but I don't like Della, so I decided not to be a buddy, but I still need a buddy."
Yeah, it's fucking, yeah. And on the end of the book, no. I said, "So sick of camp books, we peaked with Jelly Jam, please move on." And then I said, "So sick of ghost books, we peaked with Ghost Next Door, please move on."
Apparently there's a point in the book where they're like, "There's no such thing as quicksand." Yes, there is.
Oh my god. Yippee.
And there's a line where it's like, "It turns out the curse of Camp Cold Lake is all the rules." Just like, ugh.
Awful. So look, from us talking about the story, that's pretty much all there is. So we talk about the story for this one for a lot longer, because there is more story to it,
Yeah.
but there's nothing great about it, and it's all stuff that we fucking read before. Whereas with Blob, there's not a whole lot of story, but at least it's somewhat new. The typewriter stuff is pretty new.
To be fair, a girl attempting suicide is new for Goosebumps.
It's going pretty low on my list, but if anybody asks me what the scariest book is, I'm probably going to say Cold Lake. Just for that one chapter that really fucking unsettled me.
Yeah, gross.
Yeah.
TV adaptation, though, doesn't exist. Thank God.
I don't want to watch them try to recreate the drowning scene. That would
No.
be awful.
You'd have to cut it.
Yeah.
You have to do something else.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it'd be a pretty easy book to adapt.
Yeah.
They just avoided doing the camp books. We've said this before. They did Nightmare and they stopped there.
Yeah. I would have liked to see Jelly Jam, but, you know, with the giant fucking blob at the end, I can see why they didn't.
So many blob monsters.
2.
Monster blood.
Monster blood as well,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Now we gotta rank these. This is probably the shortest video ever.
That feels good.
Yeah.
Feels nice to get to sleep early tonight.
Yeah,
Yay.
great. Salting my ranking. How about we just start from the bottom?
Yes.
What do we got? Which one are we doing first? Blob.
Let's do Cold Lake. Because
Cold
Cold Lake
Lake?
feels easy to me. Do I prefer it to Ghost Camp?
Oh, I want to say yes, but it's close.
Yeah.
Ghost Camp, apart from having the cool campfire stories, doesn't do anything else.
No.
This has crazy ghost girl on a boat trying to fucking...
Just fucking with the
Just
protagonist.
trying to fucking vehicular manslaughter you. I'm trying to... But do we prefer it to Why I'm Afraid of Bees?
No.
That feels like a problem.
I
No.
definitely like Bees more.
Yeah. Do I want to read this over Egg Monsters from Mars? Yes. I think this goes just above Ghost Camp.
Very
But
good.
I would rather reread Jack-o'-lanterns.
Jacqueline says, more houses.
Yeah, more houses, more houses.
Put her in the bin, buddy.
Whop.
Alright, the blob that ate everyone. You want to start from...
One second, hold on. Fucking hell.
It's a long title.
It is.
These are two very long titles.
Let's
Let's start with
go-
Monster Blood 3.
Which one was Monster Blood 3? That's He's Big.
Yeah. I think... I don't even know.
You're definitely in the right place for it.
Yeah.
I'm going to say let's drop down to Piano Lessons Can Be Murder.
Okay, I prefer
I prefer that. Revenge of the Lawn Gnomes?
Yeah, I prefer this.
Yeah. Say Cheese and Die?
Yeah,
I prefer
yeah.
this. How to Kill a Monster? I prefer this. Legend of the Lost Legend.
I prefer this.
I'm trying to remember most of that book. Yeah, I prefer that. Monster Blood 3.
I don't remember a lot of that book.
No, neither do I.
I think we read it
That
like a
doesn't
year
really bode
ago.
well. That does not
No.
really bode well.
No.
I don't think I prefer this to Vampire Breath. I think I prefer Vampire Breath.
Vampire Breath is pretty pointless.
But I have a funny vampire most of the book,
Yeah.
and no, I'm putting off. I definitely prefer Vampire Breath.
Do I prefer this to Monster Blood 3?
I can't remember Monster Blood 3, which I think is an important factor.
The military show up. Yeah, it's not... Okay, look, fine. Blob that everyone goes above Monster Blood 3.
Wait a minute, we had Monster Blood 3 above Monster Blood 2. I can tell you what happens in Monster Blood 2,
I hate Monster Blood 2.
but I can still tell you what happens in it.
That's not a good thing. You can tell me what happens in Camp Nightmare.
That's a good point. That's a good point. All right, I'll eat shit on that one. What's that
Bin.
called? The Blob That Ate Everyone.
Yep.
Didn't really eat everyone, did it?
No, these titles are not very
It
accurate, but...
didn't even really eat someone. Like, did it eat a cop?
Yeah, maybe. I think with these titles, Stein likes to put them in the story themselves, like this, but where the snowman, the scarecrow works at midnight. I'm like, it's a little too literal.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
It sounds cool out loud.
Yeah.
Which I guess is all he's really going for.
Yeah.
It feels like a pulp comic book. Like, something that you'd see on the newsstand and be like, wow, Attack of the Fucko Men.
Stein
For 5 cents?
Stein is drawing from his childhood to try to write to kids in the 90s. It ain't working, buddy.
He hasn't stopped.
No.
He's still doing it. He's still doing it. What's his horror anthology comic book called now? Stuff and Nightmares.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It's not a bad title. It's not a bad title. The contents? Probably garbage.
What's some fucking like Man Thing? That was about like the
That
golden
was
age of Hollywood,
so
wasn't it?
fucking bad. But it started being like that. If it stayed in Hollywood,
Yeah.
I would have probably really fucking liked it. But it fucking went on to like another dimension or something. I am fucking. Anyway, what are we reading next month?
We're reading My Best Friend is Invisible and Deep Trouble 2.
I'm excited for Deep Trouble 2. I think it's a very interesting pick for a sequel. It's one of the more interesting books that we've had, and I hope that Stein can do an equally interesting story with it this time.
Good point. Counterpoint. It's just an ugly fish. It's literally just an ugly
say
fish.
That. You can't say that. You said it last time and you were completely wrong. You were hot. You know what? Say it again. Can you please say it some more, please?
It's just an ugly fish.
How do you make fish scary?
How do you make ugly fish scary? It's a very goofy cover. Maybe that could go at the bottom as the worst cover of the series.
Maybe Chicken belongs at the bottom.
Yeah, that and like bees, like the weird face ones, not a fan. And My Best Friend is Invisible, I'm pretty sure is another ghost book, so I'm not remotely excited about it.
Yeah. You just didn't want to call the book The Ghost Next Door 2.
No.
No.
We've still got The Haunted School left as well, so 2 more ghost books.
I don't want to read them. I don't want to read them.
6 more to go, and then we're done.
At least we get one more Monster Blood book.
Yeah, that's not going to be any good.
No, but it'll be interesting. Because they're always interesting. They always do something fucking ridiculous. And ending on a Monster Blood, where it's like slugs or something.
Yeah, what the fuck?
I'll take it, you know?
What the fuck?
Probably one of the best covers as well, I would say.
It's got a good colour scheme.
It's a really good color scheme and it's grabbing. You just go, whoa, what
Yeah.
the fuck is this?
We got some really good covers coming up. I like Werewolf Skin. I like I Live in Your Basement.
I'm really excited for Werewolf Skin. I really hope that's good. I'm going to be so upset if that's a bad book. I'm going to be so upset.
Our last werewolf book wasn't too hot.
I really, really hope that's good.
Cope.
It is cope. I have to cope. If I don't cope, I cry.
If we don't cope, we're not making it. We're going to lose our minds before the end of this series.
Yeah. What's next month?
My Best Friend is Invisible and Deep Trouble
the
2.
month of the year. It's September. Isn't it?
September.
Yeah, so that means October, our second last month, we get another board game to
Yeah.
play. That's the last of the board games, so we managed to space them out properly. This one, however, is not based on a book.
It does take elements from a lot of Goosebumps books, though.
It does. Did you see the cards?
I did.
All of them?
I don't know if I saw all of them.
Did you see the ones that are based on actual books?
You showed me the Haunted Mask one.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I did, didn't I?
Yeah.
Well, don't know what we're talking about now.
I don't know.
I'll see it in 2 months. I'm just rambling because I feel bad that it's a short video.
Well, Stein should feel bad for publishing these. Jesus.
Scholastic should feel bad.
Yeah.
If I was Scholastic, I would sue R.L. Stein.
In Minecraft.